I'm sure you'll be asked this question in future, but the allocation for capex at 11.1 lakh crore, does it seem like a lofty goal, considering that you could not even do 10 lakh crore in this year?
No, but not really. I mean, we've done only 2 lakh, 3 lakh. That's not the case.
Yeah.
We're closer to 10. It's also because absorption has its own limits, whether it's the states or the departments within Government of India. When the capital expenditure is undertaken through the outlays given to them, it is only that much within 12 months that they can do and not beyond. So sometimes reaching the target, however ambitious it is to the last mile difficult within 12 months. Had we given them a few more months, they will probably even complete that. But the condition for these capital expenditure, which I have announced since last 3 years, is that that amount should be utilized within the year. So many of the state governments which take the money, which are very good in implementing, in fact, I find states very enthusiastic in wanting to avail of this facility. The difficulty comes that if you restrict them to using it within 12 months, and which is what we aim at, we want them to use it within 12 months. So I'm not saying restrict in that sense, but within 12 months when you are expected to spend that money, there are times when completely utilizing it becomes difficult. They partly use it. That is why 10 lakhs you might reach 9.2 and not touch 10, but achieving 9.2 within a matter of 12 is, I think, good enough. So to increase it to 11, I'm very hopeful it will definitely get used. And the amounts which are being given to the states are also having high utilization.
Nirmala ji, if I'm right, we get a sense that there is an indication of tapering of government spending. I know we've discussed this in our last interview as well. You expect private sector also now to do some heavy lifting. So we are seeing some of the sectors looking up now. There are investments in steel, aviation, power, machinery. But are you happy with the level of private sector participation? You said that they are like Hanuman, and Hanuman has no idea of his own power. When do you think that this Hanuman will lift the economy mountain?
Well, I think, as you said, they are coming out. There is investment happening. The PLI scheme is also helping them.
Yes.
So investments in newer areas do have a slightly longer gestation period. It's not as if their brownfield projects are getting additional money. That also is happening. But the interest in the sunrise sector is really obvious now. People are taking a lot of interest, and you're seeing them coming forward.
Okay. So that's heartening news. One more question on the stress that is being seen in the rural economy. Your higher allocation outlay to Manrega also is an indication, betrays, the stress on rural economy. If you look at the results of FMCG companies, consumer durable companies, even if you look at the Nielsen data, it shows that the rural volume growth has underperformed urban volume growth for almost 7 quarters now in a row. So what is your prognosis of rural demand, and how do you think we will deal with this going forward?
I'm not sure if I'll be able to describe how I view what is happening in the rural areas. Let us recognize that there is a lot of shift in the way employment is panning out. Let us recognize that migration is now looking at redefining itself in a way. Many people who went back to their villages with some skills acquired are wondering if they can continue being there and utilizing and benefiting from the skills that they've acquired. Industries too today are allowing a lot of work from home, and many who are avoiding traveling are also staying back. So the shift will have to be recognized. But equally, that's not to say people are staying back home without work or staying back and working from there, with large companies being established everywhere else. So there is a transition happening undoubtedly.
Yes.
Second, there's also this little savings which is coming through, which we are seeing from the various fixed deposits which are growing as different from small savings.
Yes.
You're also seeing some middle class looking at savings through the stock markets, demat accounts, and so on. So the indicators with which we are looking at the rural economy may vary, and there are very many newer indicators which we may not want to miss out on. Yes, I agree, FMCG market will also tell us that durable consumables are not being consumed as much as before.
Yes.
But, well, I take that as one indicator, but equally, the kind of activities which are now happening in the rural areas, because of better connectivity, because of other digitization, are also yet to be measured, I would think.
Okay. One thing related to, the job market, especially, if you look at the campus recruitment in engineering colleges and MBA colleges. So on one side, there is this, the economy is doing well, and all indicators point to that. But on the other hand, the campus recruitment this year has been muted. Salaries have been lower. Many students have not got a job offer yet. How do you see this, in relation to the overall big picture?
See, the question about employment, I'm afraid we are repeatedly focusing only on those indicators pertaining to the formal economy, which is important. I am not denying its role. So college recruitments, IIM like campuses are important. But equally, the jobs that are getting created in the middle and lower order are not getting counted at all. I would look at the way in which banks and their credit offtake is happening in small and medium businesses. The new companies which have got registered, which is a data which I have put out from the MCA, the number of new companies which have started are certainly not people who are being recruited for jobs. They are people who are investing money, believing in their skills, registering a company, and probably giving jobs for others. Why would new companies get registered in a bigger number than before if employment is not being offered? The companies cannot operate in vacuum without human beings in them. So I think a fairer, open, and an exhaustive picture of India's employment, both in the formal and non-formal areas, will have to have some kind of a wider base with which, and we need to bring in such data so that the discussion can be more informed.
And I think the global slowdown is also having an impact on our jobs, especially at the higher end, right? I mean, in IIM campuses or engineering colleges, etc.
Equally, because of the way in which artificial intelligence is coming, the kind of job requirements that are expected of new recruits are also changing. So the people with old skill sets are now expected to have additional newer skill sets for entering into a certain area which till now did not exist. So we are lots of calibrations are required in understanding this.
That's right. Yesterday in your budget speech, you were very appreciative of, income tax payers. In fact, the number of income tax, people paying income tax has gone up. Collections are up 2.4 times. You were quite appreciative. In fact, I thought you just stopped short of sort of giving them something back because, it was a vote on account. My question is that, salaried people are paying 30% today, whereas corporates pay 22% tax. In the longer term, directionally... Corporates
meaning as an entity,
yes,
a company.
As an entity, that's right. So I'm saying in the longer term, directionally, do you think you would align this in some way or the other? I'm talking about the longer term.
Well, the direct taxation reforms are a steady job in the pipeline, and some results come out and more work is happening. So direct taxation is something on which one ease of the taxpayers' facilitation which has to be improved, and also one of the things happened yesterday, one of the serving the customer better business in the taxation regime happened yesterday, but more work can always be done.
Yes, so